2024 is almost done, but that still allowed for us to get one final Marvel Legends live stream to wrap up the year. Plenty of fun reveals, including an updated 6-inch version of this guy that really had me hyped up. They really over delivered with it. And of course, we got the invitation from the Marvel Legends team to spam them daily and tell them how much we need more Marvel Legends X Factor figures. Let's break down all those reveals right now. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. 2 full waves got revealed, one of which we know will be up for pre-order next week, and the other one, who knows, sometime in 2025. Maybe not 2026, though. Anyway, let's talk about these reveals, starting with the Spider-Man retro wave. And for those of you who have been on YouTube and have been watching all the videos from people like me talking about the leak list of potential figures coming out, and we did get shaded today. And like, this is the only official place to get your Marvel Legends news. It's all good, Ryan. We're here. We're hyped up. We're excited about Marvel Legends. We're so excited. We want to beat you guys to talking about this stuff. And we're still talking about it. So it's all good. But anyway, we knew about these figures. No surprises, but just actually seeing them was really cool. So first off, with one that we got revealed earlier yesterday from CCXP Brazil, was this version of Electro. Very solid figure. And I have no connection, no interest to the character, but I think they did an exceptional job pulling this look off. Really nicely done. I love the maniacal head sculpt. She looks like a bad guy. She doesn't look like, oh, maybe she's confused. Maybe she's trying to ask for directions. She looks crazed and ready to go battling Spider-Man. I really dig that. Another thing that I really dig is the fact that the design team said, hey, these electric effects, and yeah, we're listening to you. We're trying to include more accessories. That was exciting to hear. They're removable and they have C grips, which mean they should attach really closely to other figures who happen to use electrical powers. Maybe Dude version Max Electro, and also Storm. And she's got those lightning fingers, which look really weird. It'd be really great to give her something like this. This would be really cool. So excited about this. This is a figure, even though I'm not connected, have any ties to, I think it was executed so well that I'll probably pick her up if she hits below 25, below 20. I think that's my, okay, now I'll get her. She's definitely a character I would have picked up with no hesitation if she were attached to a Build-A-Figure that I did want. I wouldn't go, I'll wait till later, because I think, this is a nice figure, but it's just without the lore of building up a figure that I want, a character like this just is not a priority. And then we got some other ones, of course. And this guy we knew was coming, Spider Boy. I think this one also looks really cool. I love the eye slots on the mask being gold. That really popped out here in these figure shots from Shooting the Galaxy. Also, very interesting that Dan Yoon mentioned that Spider-Boy does not do a traditional Spider-Man web shooting pose, but they included it as their reimagining. Read, we're going to use this buck later for other Spider-Man figures, and we needed to build this mold right here with the hands. So he's getting it whether he actually uses it or not. But nice job on this figure, especially when they showed this alternate head sculpt. I love that they include that, especially in these retro lines where we don't get a Build-A-Figure. The sneakers look really cool, but man, this is really nice and sinister. I kind of dig this look. And he's going to be another one. If I see him at Ollie's, if I see him at Ross, okay, now's the time to pounce and get this guy. One thing I am hoping they can figure out a way to decipher this code in 2025 is how to maneuver around these discs that are different colors. I find it to be most problematic with Spider-Man figures, but there are other characters where we've got a majority shoulder ball here that's red, and then we got this disc that's inside is blue because the other side of it is blue. I wish they could figure that out. That would be something I would love to see. I would love to give them all the acclaim for finally figuring this out in 2025. But until then, still a work in progress. And then we got this guy, Spider-Man Unlimited. I think he looks really good. I do think he would have looked even better with a ton of cell shading, a little bit of black highlighting. Because you see here on the head, it does seem like it's missing that shading element. Of course, it's black, so it'll be easier than if it were, say, a different color. But he's just missing that little element to him. He does look cool. Like Spider Boy, Marvel Legends always has that hook of the Spider Verse. So it's like, well, I don't really need this character. I don't have a connection to him, but I could put him on the shelf with all my other random Spider-Man figures. And I continue to build that shelf. So I guess eventually I'll add him as well because he does look cool. I got Spider Shot. I'll get some more of those variants, but he does look neat. And he's one I probably will try to experiment with a little black paint, spiffy him up just a little bit more. Then we got this guy, Kaine. Shout out to Ryan for actually doing the WWF/E reference to Kaine. I was going to go with, if he didn't, that's got to be Kaine. And this Kaine is awesome. I mean, we got the tattered cape, and they sculpted all of these elements to his costume. That's something, I don't know if I'd have been upset with them if they painted, because it's like, when are they ever going to do a figure with this kind of lining and I guess not even paneling, just weird webbing on his costume? Never. So the fact that they actually did that, really nice job. I think they could have stood to give him a little bit more of a brown wash in there, just so his hair color doesn't look that straight brown. But I really dig this. The colors are going to make him pop on the Spider-Man shelf too. And if you're a fan of the Spider Clone Saga, he's a must get. And I think they did a really excellent job. Maybe he's going to be a candidate for top 10 best figures for Marvel Legends in 2025. Really nice job on him. Next up, another one that could be a candidate, a contender, is Agent Venom. They've already done this guy before, but I really think the improvements really stand out here. He looks better. He doesn't have that kind of awkward body of the original figure that was released a while back now. All the sculpting. Here you see the little spikes on his shoulder pads, his gauntlets, his shin and knees. That looks really cool. And I dig how they sculpted the spider into the armor and then the lower torso section. I've always loved this mask. I think the black and white color scheme. Yeah, we've seen it on Venom and the symbiote Spider-Man look, but for whatever reason on Agent Venom, it just looks so cool and so clean. I really dig it. He's got the reused shield guns. So you've got the larger machine gun, the blaster. I think that works. He's an agent as well. I am curious if he does have a hole in the back so he can plug in those symbiote tendrils that the original Agent Venom came with. And then another way to kind of entice you to go, hey, you got that old one, but you're going to want to get this new one. They've included a Flash Thompson head sculpt. That's really cool. He looks good. I think he could work for basically any character where you just need a blonde guy. But I think they did a nice job with it. And I feel like we've gotten some Marvel Legends civilian characters, maybe even that animated Peter Parker, where we could have just a regular street clothes version of Flash Thompson. Really nice. But I dig all the detail, the lining on his arms, the gauntlets with the spikes. They really paid attention to how that figure should look. And he looks really, really good. Nice job there. Next up, the final member of this wave is Chameleon from the cartoon animated series with the J. Jonah Jameson mask. And it's really cool. Nicely done. Chameleon, I still want to get in his early comic book look, but he's one where you needed to do one of those sooner. So do this more exciting costume, not the ascot, the robe figure. Let's get this one. And it makes sense. They've done so many animated series looks in these figures. So it makes sense to get Chameleon in the mix now as well. And I think they did a really nice job with it. Pretty basic blank figure, but you want to swap this head off with anybody else, the gloves or the hands, you could make this Chameleon into anybody. And I think that's really cool. Nicely done. And he's one I'm going to get alongside that Kaine, alongside our Agent Venom right away. So very good. Nice job on those. So the retro Spider-Man wave, I think, is a pretty big success. Although I really think they're missing out by not including Build-A-Figures with these Spider-Man waves. How long has it been since we've built a Spider-Man wave and came up with a bonus figure? It's been a while now, and they haven't reduced the prices on these figures, even though it's just, hey, here's the retro card. I like to build a figure, and Spider-Man still has enough characters who are big enough to warrant being built and assembled over 6 or 7 figures. So I feel like maybe next year, hopefully, we'll see more Spider-Man waves that actually lead to a Build-A-Figure. But anyway, that lineup is going to be up for pre-order on December 12th. I'll make sure to include the links when those get posted. Then we got some Target and other exclusive retail partners for Marvel. And the first one I thought was hilarious because they talked about the Savage Land. They showed off the Kazar figure. They showed off the Build-A-Figure Zabu. And I'm like, great, more Savage Land figures. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Shayna, the She-Devil? Are we going to get a depowered Sauron and have Carl Lycos join in the party? Maybe it's going to be more Magneto's Misfits. Maybe it's Magneto in his little parka outfit. That'd be a fun, unique character. Maybe it'll even be Angel with his repainted midnight blue outfit, because that's when he first started rocking it, when Magneto gave him that updated costume while he was in the Savage Land. Nope. Wasn't X-Men related character, just probably one that no one was expecting and suspecting would be the case. Professor X. And I don't care if they want to sell a Savage Land version. This is absolutely a needed version of Professor X because, of course, this is him in his jumpsuit, his safari gear, I think they called it. But this is what he's rocking in that hover chair that we've already got. Not hovercraft. That's what I want for my G.I. Joe Classified series line. But this is the look that he's rocking in that hydro chair. And that'll be really cool. So we can reenact more of that X-Men #1. He does have a pointing hand, so he can do the full deal. And really essential look. So my suited up Charles is going to finally get kicked out of the hover chair, replaced with this guy. Nicely done. And this is basically a reuse of the Molecule Man, Hank Pym mold, and that's fine. It makes a lot of sense here. And Professor X looks cool. We needed this in figure form. I'm not complaining whatsoever about it. Happy to get this added to the line. He comes with a Cerebro helmet as well. So good stuff. You can see the pointed hand there. He's even thought. Then we move on to another retail partner, Walmart, boo. And they've got this guy, Spider-Man 1977. I don't know how many of you all were around watching that show like me, but I think this is a fun addition to the line. And they really captured that look right from the eyes, the bracelet, web shooters, the belt. It's just a fun looking figure. And, it's definitely going to stand out in your Spider-Man shelf. Maybe you get him and pair him up with the McFarlane 1978 Superman. And Dwight mentioned, hey, he's going to have the shoestring set up here like the figure had or the character had in the show, just like this. This is how he rocked his web shooting gear. Now, the boots are a little bit different than the rest of the outfit, and that was not reflected on the Marvel Legends figure, but whatever. This is really fun, and I dig the fact that they included this. Nice job adding this, and there's the rope, not the web shooter or the web. But that's really fun. And definitely one of those examples where they're making use of their retail partner, Walmart, so people won't be all up in arms. Oh man, this is terrible. If you get it from Walmart, great. If not, it's going to be okay. This is not an essential figure for your collection, but I think a lot of people are going to track this down. And again, I want to make sure to give Walmart credit because they have done so much better about getting their accessories, their exclusive figures out to the masses. And just as a quick indication of how well they've been doing on that front, I got some stuff from Walmart today. And on the Star Wars front, not Marvel Legends, but if you want to take a quick look here at one of their exclusive figures, who's dirt cheap right now, and I don't regret buying it when I did, but boy, I wish I had known he's going to drop this low. And this is a Walmart exclusive, so we can't complain. They don't have them in stock. $10 for Retro Warlord Professor X. You can get him right now for $10. Then they got Retro Series Quicksilver. They're exclusive. He's available right now. And then their exclusive Marvel Legends, Marvel's Prowler from the animated series, $15. So Walmart is doing their part. So we can't complain. Oh, they're not doing well with, and they're not doing right by us with these exclusive figures. They are. So hopefully there won't be a problem with this Spider-Man 1977 either. Continuing on with the exclusives, we got an Amazon one because, we can't go without Amazon getting in the mix of anything these days. And they got one that I think makes a lot of sense and should be relatively easy for everyone to get because Amazon, Cabal 3-pack notwithstanding, does a good job of keeping their exclusives stocked. It's Spider-Man No Way Home Lizard. And it feels really weird that they're still releasing so slowly these figures. Dan did say, hey, we're going to finally give us that final villain. So Electro will be coming. It just is so weird though. But Lizard looks really good. They put in quality work like they've been doing with all these movie figures. That Doc Ock, which I thought was hilarious that Ryan and Dan or Dwight could not get to stand up. And it's like, yes, this is our problems trying to keep some of our figures standing when we want them to. And a nice job here. You can see all that paint work, got all the different shades of green, the light action here, darker, a little bit different shade here, and got a little bit of that yellow green in the thighs. So really well done. The head sculpt looks awesome too. And we got another one, got the lunging look. So he's going to be a really nice figure to add into this No Way Home collection that seemingly is never going to get completed. But apparently 2025 is the year it will get done, whether we like it or not. And I know it's taken forever. It felt like, okay, you didn't want to spoil anything, even though they were essentially telling us all three Spider-Man in this movie. We're going to have all the bad guys by the time 2025 is done. So that's really encouraging and exciting for all of us who have really appreciated and loved that movie. Now let's move on to the X-Men wave. And this one, unlike Spider-Man, is actually a Build-A-Figure wave. Who knew? So again, with the figures, we've already seen Fabian Cortez. We knew this guy, the Acolyte, the main suck up to Magneto, was coming. I think they did a great job with him. That was really great. Then we saw yesterday, much needed Age of Apocalypse character, Gambit. He looks awesome. Really nicely done. Again, they put in the work for a figure they're not going to be able to reuse over and over again. Great job. Appreciate it. Now let's move on to the new ones. We got Nightcrawler, and we've seen the render of X-Force Nightcrawler. And Dan was like, yeah, he's actually the Age of Apocalypse one. And I feel like they've been really funny with that because the Uncanny X-Force team went to the realm, the era, the planet of the Age of Apocalypse. It wasn't like, this is Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler that we want in our collection. If people are going, hey, I want an Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler, that's not the look they're envisioning in their head. Nicely done figure. He's actually going to basically complete that team at this point, but not quite the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler that a lot of us want. And yeah, we're not getting that team completed, but we are getting this Uncanny X-Force team knocked out. So I don't know if I can complain too much, but nice looking figure. Dwight mentioned in some comics his eyes were red, others they're gold. So we got the more angry, the expressive portrait with one shade and the other, the neutral one with the gold eyes. So that's a nice compromise. That makes sense in that kind of deal. I appreciate their attention to the source material. But there you go. That's him. He's raging out. He's excited. I think he looks really clean. He's going to stand out really nice with my Uncanny X-Force team. But it's weird that that's one that's going to be completed like that Fantastic Four with Franklin, Valeria, and Spider-Man and Wolverine. And we're still missing Banshee in green and yellow. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep spamming about him too. Next up, We get Husk. Again, great seeing a team member added. So we get another addition, another member of Generation X. Very nice to get her using most of the same parts as that Monet figure. No problems, no argument here. She looks really good, and I think they've done some really creative stuff with how she looks. Great base default head sculpt of old Paige, and I think she looks good. She comes with skin as an accessory. That's wild and crazy. I think they did a really nice job of their head sculpt. Good work there. And you can actually make the peeling face effect. That is crazy. That's really solid. I mean, you got to love that kind of work. And this is why I've been saying other companies are going to do some solid work on Marvel. Sure. But we're not going to get a Husk from them until 10, 15 years down the road. I mean, it's taken Hasbro this long to give us 3 members of Generation X. So, how long will it take somebody else who doesn't have the same output to do these kind of figures? But really impressed with how she turned out and glad to see another team member from Gen X getting done, and she looks excited. I mean, this is just so cool to actually have this look in figure form. So yeah, good stuff. Keep going with the teams, Hasbro. I'm pulling for you. I know you can get that done. And speaking of teams that need to get completed, even though this one is just so weird, not really sure why they decided this is the team they need to start and get us going with a whole other set, because it's like, no, we don't need another team for you to start and take forever to finish. We got this guy, and originally the rumors were it was Ultimates X-Men, but it's actually not. It's the Extreme X-Men version of Wolverine. And this costume looks cool. If you're a fan of the video game, this can kind of work just as well too for you. And I mean, it's a Wolverine figure. We've seen so many. And it looks solid. Great job on the claws. I mean, this outfit is cool, but if you start a team, you got to finish it. And he does look good. I like this look for Wolverine. And here's a shot of what it looked like in the comics. So this was solid work done by Chris Claremont. So this is official X-Men run. Storm actually has a pretty cool costume in this, as well as some other members of the team. Here you go. So here's Bishop. There's Rachel. Maybe we'll get her completed in this version. I don't know. We got Gambit there. We got Domino. We've got, is this Kitty Pryde? I don't even know at this point. Rogue with her red outfit. So, I mean, they could knock out this team fairly quickly, but I want them to finish some other X-Men teams before they get distracted and do this version. So we'll see. I don't know if we really needed this one, but whatever. We got him. Here's Wolverine. Then we got another A-lister. It's my boy Cyclops. And we knew that an X Factor version was coming, and it was kind of weird where it was like, oh, it's going to be the blue and yellow. We've already got the blue and white. Why are you going to blue and yellow? But look at that optic blast effect. Wow. That's great. It is detachable, so you can see it's not one of these dumb things where it's going to have just the optic blast emanating from his visor or have a vapor trail. And this big effect piece at the end is also detachable, so you can have it just like a wide spraying optic blast. This is when it meets contact and impacts against something. And, much the same way as this Marvel Universe figure, that blue and yellow really does pop. I mean, it's Cyclops' main color scheme, so big shock there, but it looks so good on this Vulcan mold. Really nicely done. I am excited about this figure. It looks so good. And kid, I wish we could crack this code with this disc, but it's there again. And the X Factor costumes, they look so good. Dan was like, hey, if you want to see more X Factor figures, yes, please hit us up. So, invitation and challenge accepted, my friend. I will be hitting you up, not every day, but I will definitely be going, hey, you know who else we need? We need Jean in her green and yellow. We need a good Iceman figure. You throw in that power restraining belt, that'd be even better. Uh, we need Angel, and he's a basic, simple, easy repaint because it is literally that red outfit, and you don't even have to change the head sculpt. It's just painting a white X over that figure, basically, that we've already gotten. So he's super easy. Let's make him happen. And let me hold up my human version of Marvel Universe Beast. Oh, that's right. We never got him. Make that right. You guys can do it. If you're opening up the floodgates and telling us, hey, let us know, I am letting you know. More X Factor Marvel Legends figures, please. Then when you finish off this lineup, these colors, I want to see the second suit. And I know we're going to need a new blue and white Cyclops to use that Vulcan mold as opposed to the Bucky Cap mold, which I think we're all over. But yeah, I mean, let's get it going. Let's start it up. Jean Grey is a very simple, very easy repaint. So you just do this one version. You can repaint her, package her with Cyclops in the blue and white. We get her in the red and yellow. We're all happy. I'm happy. Everybody who loves X Factor would be happy. So Dan, get on him, man. Make him push that through. So pretty solid. Really excited to see that X Factor Cyclops. I mean, the dude looks really good, and they did such a great job with this sculpt. I appreciate the base head sculpt. He looks solid. A little bit of a smirk going there. He looks confident, even though an X Factor, when he's rocking this look to start, he is most bitter and most upset. I don't know what to do. Should I choose Madeline? Should I choose Jean? Choose Jean. She's not some crazy psycho created by Mr. Sinister. But yeah, that's really cool. Glad to see him. Then we got Marrow. So again, they're starting to do a little bit more work on team building, which I'm really happy about. Marrow looks really good. I think they did a nice job with her bones, gave her some weapons, some stuff to hold, and it'd have been cool if they did something like a husk where you could just kind of piece off stuff. But I think that looks really good. Here's some more looks. So she's got multiple, so she can hold in her hands. I think this attaches to her backpack section, so that would be great if there looks like there's space for both of them. I like her head sculpt. I think it really captures her as a character. Her name is Sarah, if I'm remembering that correctly. And yeah, so that was a fun little era of the X-Men. Here's the back. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more and see if this is true. Oh, it doesn't look like it actually. It looks like these are all separate pieces. That's interesting, but nice work on this figure. And without them having to say it, that this is all about completing that Marvel versus Capcom roster. I think she was in part 2. So you got her now, and she can hit some really nice poses there. Good job shooting the galaxy on that, showing the flexibility of young Marrow. And she'll be a great addition. And with her inclusion, we're getting very close to getting this X-Men Gold team with Beast. And we've got a functional Beast, Jim Lee Cyclops, Wolverine, Jean Grey. We still need a Storm with this shorter hairstyle, which I thought was cool. We've got Maggot. Now we have Marrow. We still need Dr. Cecile Reyes. So let's keep this rolling, keep this going, and get that team that's so short and so small to complete. Of course, we still need a cannonball. So we're not quite complete and done, but we're getting there. So I'm excited about that. Then the Build-A-Figure, Nemesis, not Holocaust. And this one, boy, I mean, this is a really great looking figure. Dwight was like, this is one of my crowning achievements. I'm so happy to get this figure done. And I'm like, it's a nice looking figure, but yeah, why are we doing this version? It's just another one of those cases where I'm confused. I'm a little bit perplexed because you started the Age of Apocalypse. We've gotten 2 full waves, and we're getting Gambit, so we're getting some additions. We got that Sunfire, so we're getting more of those characters to kind of deviate and go, well, let's actually shift gears. Let's focus on the Uncanny X-Force version. Okay, I mean that's a way to go with it, but not really the best way. And again, this figure looks really cool, and he's going to be one that I have simply because I'm getting these figures. I guess Wolverine might not have gotten picked up, but I mean, you give me enough, I'm going to buy him. That's the whole thing of the Build-A-Figure. That's why I think they should be including that with every line, because it encourages that extra purchase. But I mean, he looks good. He's got his Metroid tribute rock in here, but it's just like, he's so close. I mean, you got the helmet you can take off. So if you want a better Johnny Blaze head, here you go. But this is what he looks like in Uncanny X-Force. So they did a fantastic job of replicating that look. And I assume we're going to see Archangel Apocalypse coming up later. And if so, we're going to need to use a better mold than the Bucky cap that the Archangel figure is using. Hopefully, they don't tool up too much Apocalypse stuff on this look because I still need an updated version of Archangel. But here's the look for Holocaust that I was really, or excuse me, Nemesis, that I wanted to see. This version, the one who's ironically fighting non-AOA figures that we've gotten. There's Morph, and we don't really have that figure. We have the Exiles version, and we have Blink, who's more in her Exiles version. So this is just all off. Can't even reenact this panel. But this is the look I wanted. And I feel like a lot of people were, when they've been requesting Holocaust Nemesis, this is what they wanted too, because we do have a Marvel Legends version of this look, this specific one. Let me pull that up real fast. Marvel Legends Holocaust. There we go. Build a figure. And in a pinch, he does still work okay, but I think a lot of us were like, hey, this would be even better if we get an updated version that can play along a little bit better with our modern Marvel Legends. So here he is. They, they did a decent enough job implementing that Joe Mad look. I'm sorry, it's a custom. Can't put that in the mix because that looks too good. But man, individual parts for $31. So he's still hard to find cheaply, which means he's not going to be any cheaper because people are still actually going to want this figure, this look, especially fans of the old Age of Apocalypse. So I think that was a bit of a miss, just in the sense of don't go away from what you're still working on. There's still so many Age of Apocalypse characters with great designs that still need figures. Storm, Banshee, Quicksilver, the Bedlam Brothers, Angel, Bishop. I mean, there's a whole wave right there. And then there's more Build-A-Figure opportunities. So let's focus on that. Let's not go into the Uncanny X-Force. Let's go back to the Age of Apocalypse. Now, they actually have done a lot, and you can include that Iceman figure from the Age of Apocalypse wave that we got already, because he fits in better with the Uncanny X-Force return to Age of Apocalypse. So he works. We got that Nightcrawler. So they're really fleshing out that storyline, but to the neglect of the AOA that they started. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more action on that front. But overall, I think these were some really solid reveals. Again, very happy with this Cyclops update. The optic effect is great. Something I can use hopefully with my other Cyclops figures because that's a really nice looking deal. But yeah, I mean, way to go out with a bang. This is a great year for Marvel Legends, and can't wait to see what all is in store for 2025. We got some teases. Let's see where they go and if they can possibly top 2024's offerings. So let me know what you guys think in the comments as always. And thank you so much for watching. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.